Introducing first, to my right, he weighs in at 262 pounds, fighting out of Maryville, Canada, making his long-awaited debut here in Absolute Intense Wrestling. He is a former Ring of Honor World Champion, Mr. Wrestling, Kevin Steen! And his opponent in the corner to my left, he weighs in at 210 pounds, fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio. He is the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, the whole shebang, all heart, Johnny Gargano!
Everyone on their feet in anticipation here, Wadsworth. I can't even see over these people.
Absolutely, of course, honor and a privilege to be sitting alongside BJ Whitmer, longest running male champion in AIW history. You, BJ, more than anyone on this commentary team, knows what it takes to be successful, not just in AIW, but in professional wrestling. And speaking of success, two of the best in the world today, Kevin Steen and Johnny Gargano, in the center of the ring here in AIW. Pedro said it, BJ, the long-awaited debut. I've been known to be a little excessive in times of some of our debuts, but literally no one has been more demanded than Kevin Steen from the AIW fans.
The guy is in demand all over the indies, Wadsworth. And this right here, what we're getting ready to see right here, is an indie dream match. And Kevin going for the finish right away.
He looked at it, but Gargano countering into the Gargano escape. Of course, these two met for the first time just months ago in a dream match. And now, look at that right away.
Because of the politics involved in independent wrestling, this match just can't happen anywhere. It has to happen on special shows, on special occasions. It happened once on the West Coast. This is the first time it has happened in the Midwest here.
Absolutely, and we saw exactly what we were talking about and how good these two are. Kevin Steen going for that package pile driver right off the bat. Gargano countering it into the Gargano escape. So we said these two have only met one other time, but true professionals, plenty of tape available on each man. You know, BJ, that they have scouted each other.
Absolutely. That's just part of this business. That's part of this sport, is scouting the guys. And these guys have been on enough shows with each other. They've seen each other's matches before. And Kevin Steen came up unsuccessful in the match on the West Coast and is looking to even the series here with Johnny Gargano here tonight in Cleveland.
Well, and of course, Johnny Gargano, as we said, they met on the West Coast. But a little bit, you have to think Gargano has a little bit more to prove in this match, as he made the call. When Kevin Steen was announced as making his long-awaited AIW debut, Johnny Gargano said, this isn't anywhere for him to walk into. This is my home.
Yes, absolutely. And he put the challenge down right away. Said, AIW, if you are going to book Kevin Steen, you have to put him in the ring with me.
Well, and you're hard-pressed to find anyone that would argue with that fact. Johnny Gargano, of course, I remember calling some of his matches the likes of against Tyler Black years ago.
Homegrown talent. One of the homegrown talents
exactly,
here at AIW.
Such an interesting study in the early part of two careers that have really taken off. Two guys that are known around the world these days. And now Johnny Gargano has become a welcoming committee for Kevin Steen. And look at
what a counter. Oh, he super kicked his teeth down his throat right there.
And now diving off. These two just going fast and furious to start, BJ.
These two, I see these guys putting it all on the line here tonight. It shows you right there the risk they're willing to take to get the victory against the other man tonight.
And BJ, of course, you're no stranger to high-profile matches, both in AIW and outside of it. Quite the extensive career. You've seen your battles, and you've seen the times when you had a point to prove. What's going through these guys' minds as they're getting ready out here, as they're coming at each other, obviously trying to finish it as quick as possible?
Absolutely. There's not going to be really a feeling out process in this match because these guys are familiar with each other, having had that epic match on the West Coast just a couple months ago. So they're just trying to get the victory as soon as possible tonight, Wadsworth.
Well, we saw Gargano with that drop kick to the back of the skull, looking to put Steen down. And Kevin Steen, such a unique study, as I said. It's been years that people have been demanding him And not only that, the kidneys, but you have to think Kevin Steen possibly targeting the back. So many injuries that Johnny Gargano has had over his very young career. Still very young. And we tend to forget, with as much of a veteran as he is and as familiar as he is to those of us here in Cleveland, he's still a very young competitor in this business.
Yeah, he's not even 30 yet, is he? What is he, 26, 27?
Absolutely. I don't have the exact age, but I believe mid-20s, Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been watching him here in Cleveland, I think, since he was old enough to wrestle, literally. I mean, since he was 17, 18 years old, in this very building, some of us saw him for the first time. And he comes home, despite being someone who literally gets booked around the world.
Yeah, still makes time to come back here to the place that gave him his start. He's one of those guys that hasn't forgot where he came from.
Well, and that's why you get that love, why you hear the King of Cleveland name. So many people over the years have tried to take that moniker and make it their own, and it's very organic with Johnny Gargano. He didn't give it to himself. These fans gave that title to Johnny Gargano. But right now, Kevin Steen finding out just why he's become a welcoming committee. Kevin Steen, and credit to Kevin Steen, BJ.
Yeah.
Not one to back down. He easily could have taken an easier path in his AIW debut.
Absolutely, but when Johnny threw down that challenge, Kevin Steen right away said, yeah.
And there's Senton just
260 pounds.
And a second one.
Right across the lower back, and you mentioned the injuries Johnny's had to that lower back. I wonder what that has taken out of Johnny right now.
Well, let's not forget the competitive drive that is Johnny Gargano. Many would say, doctors included, came back too early both times from those injuries. Both times he spent excessive amounts of time on the shelf. Of course, he had to vacate the Intense Division title the first time, came back to win the gauntlet for the gold the second time. He came back much sooner than anyone anticipated from those injuries.
Well, I'm speaking from personal experience. I know just how hard it is to sit on the sidelines when you're injured. You want nothing more than to get back in that ring and to get back into competition. And a lot of times you push it and you come back a little too early. I'm guilty of that myself in the past. But, if he felt it was time, he felt it was time. And you can't, can we question it? Yeah, but it's his choice. He felt it was time for him to come back. He came back. Oh!
Well, and BJ, obviously you've been one with neck and back injuries over the year. Is there ever a time that you're 100%? Do you ever feel 100% recovered from that? Or is it something that years down the line, you're still feeling the effects of?
With that, it's real hard. I don't think you ever quite get back to that 100% after an injury. You can come close, but I don't think you ever get to that 100% point.
So it's always a question when Johnny Gargano's in there, and so many guys, especially a guy like Kevin Steen, as we said, that's being two of the best in the world. This match could have never been signed, and I guarantee both these guys were still scouting each other.
Absolutely, and Kevin knows about Johnny's history, these back injuries, and he's going to target this back. He already has. Look at him. Tosses him upside down in the corner. His lower back impacting with tremendous impact on that top turnbuckle.
Using that size and that strength. Kevin Steen, a guy who has heard all the knocks that there are out there about his body type or his size. But in the end, it almost has given him this chip on the shoulder over the years, BJ.
Yeah, don't let right on his lower back. Oh, and a lariat. That's it. No way. Oh! Look at the determination on Johnny's face right now. He's not going to let that keep him down.
Well, absolutely.
As you said about Kevin's body, yes, I think he does have a chip on his shoulder. And people don't, let Kevin's body type or his size, deceive you. That guy is an athlete. He is a professional athlete.
Well, Gargano pulled himself up, and you can see the effects, slowing him down a little bit. And that's something Kevin Steen's going to want to do in this matchup, is he deceptively strong gas tank out of Kevin Steen, and look at that, right between the shoulder blades, the foot to the lower back, and now just
I told you he was going to target that back. He knows Johnny has a history of back injuries. And I can't fault him for doing it, because I would probably do the same thing if I was in his shoes.
Absolutely. Kevin Steen, of course, as we said, he's very smart. He's doing nothing illegal. He's doing nothing deceitful. An opponent, and that's true of any sports, and especially true in professional wrestling, if you know your opponent has a weak spot, you're going to target it.
You target the weakness. That's just sports. Football, basketball, you target the weak point, and you try and capitalize on it.
What'll be interesting is to see...
Oh, knee to the face.
see if Johnny Gargano can utilize his
Low
strong
bridged.
point, which is on his tights, that all heart. And look at him now elevating up and over, but Steen underneath. Now setting up, looking for that slingshot spear. That gotcha spear.
You got to capitalize, Johnny.
Gargano looking to get this crowd back behind him, looking to regain that home court advantage.
I have to question that, though. You get a guy down with an impactful move like the spear, you have to capitalize. You have to go for the cover.
Well, especially a guy that's been on offense much of the match, the way Kevin Steen has. He's doled out a lot of damage. I have to admit, I see where you're coming from, BJ. You give him too much of an opening, and I think that, and we see it right there, but the forearm shot's right back.
Look at these impactful, look at that impact on these forearms. These guys are clobbering each other. Oh,
Steen with the knee to the midsection. Look at that short arm clothesline. Gargano underneath, one of his own.
It's going to take more than that to take Steen off his feet.
Second one looking for the third one. There's that one to the back of the head. And now setting up, but out of the way. And look at the way the head snaps back.
Is he setting up for it? Here comes Wadsworth. Here comes cannonball time.
Getting all that.
He cleaned his clock with an insecurity. Did you see that?
And we've said so much of Kevin Steen studying the film of Johnny Gargano. Gargano obviously saw that cannonball coming.
Yes.
Now setting up.
Double knees to the ribs. Cover him, Johnny.
Hook and leg, 1, 2, not giving him any time this time, but still only able to get 2.
Kevin found it somewhere deep down to kick out of that.
The fans railing behind Johnny Gargano, looking to get the hometown hero back to his feet, as it looks like he may have received that second wind, BJ.
It looks like he's hitting that second wind strong right now, Wadsworth.
Well, look at him. You can see him grabbing.
Still favoring that back, though.
And there's so much back there besides just the spinal cord to be injured. Your kidneys sitting back there.
Oh, yeah.
And the effect it can even ripple through to your rib cage, to your lungs. Oh, yeah. So much of your body, so many important systems work right there.
Oh, big punch.
And, of course, Johnny Gargano, we see him throwing those left hands, but now he's caught. And just
neck breaker.
Bites neck breaker back in the head.
He's in the corner.
And cannonball hits this time.
He squashed him.
And now look at Steen not giving him a second to recover. Rolling him 1, 2, 3.
How did Johnny kick out of that, Wadsworth?
Let's go, Johnny.
Gargano just getting out of it. And it's so hard to believe. Did you see the way his head snapped back? The way his body bends? More impact on that spine.
That was 260 pounds. Full force into Johnny Gargano in that corner. His body had nowhere to go. He was trapped in that corner.
And now elevating him. Fireman's carry position. Gargano, though, quickly knowing where he's at. Getting to the ropes. Looking to elevate. Over slingshot DDT.
Spiked him.
Cover. Hook leg by Gargano. 2, 3.
Oh, boy, he barely got that shoulder up. Barely.
Clemens calling it 2, and that's about as close as you can get, BJ.
I thought that was it, Wadsworth. I thought it was done.
And I gotta ask you, BJ, veteran of many, many big matches, and we said, how much of that was Kevin Steen consciously kicking out, and how much of it was just a nerve reaction on his part?
I think it was, just knocked his teeth out at that drop kick. And another one, Is he going for a third one?
It's Steen!
His head off with a lariat. Covering
Steen
Kevin.
just about decapitating him with that lariat.
Oh, cover him. Cover him, Kevin.
Both men down.
That had to have been pure instinct. He's trying to recover now. Just pure instinct to stop that last drop kick from coming in there.
Steen looks to be the first one up, but even he is just to a seated position, now getting himself back to his feet. And look at him looking to the ropes, trying to find the ropes. He's on rubber legs right now.
Yeah, he is. But I think I know what he's going for. I've seen enough Kevin Steen matches.
He looks to be heading up, but it's Gargano up with those left hands.
Stops him.
And again, just biting right to the bridge of the nose, just biting him. Jake Clemens obviously giving quite a bit of leeway. So we want to see the finish to this one.
To the face.
Now Gargano headed up top.
Gargano going for?
Looking for a superplex, it looks like. Gargano up, but...
Oh my God!
Countered out.
Cover him, Kevin.
Steen floating over, draping that arm, hook of the leg, too.
That's it. No, Johnny kicks out. Where did he find it?
Now wait, Steen setting up.
Uh-oh,
package pile driver. Package pile driver.
Good
Center,
night.
he hits
It's
it.
over.
Center of the ring. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, he kicked out Wadsworth. He kicked out. How did he kick out of that? Oh my God.
I'll tell you what, I asked you earlier about
these people. They're going crazy. Kevin Steen cannot believe it.
I asked you earlier about Kevin Steen firing on just impulses. Johnny Gargano, I said it earlier, the man is known as all heart for a reason. It's like he has this extra gear, BJ. This extra switch in his head that just keeps him from getting put down.
Now he's going, if he hits this, going for the swanton here, Wadsworth. If he hits this, it is good night. It is over.
Steen.
Knees up, knees up.
Swanton, as you said, knees up from Gargano, the seated super kick.
Two of them. Oh, he is kicking the crap out of him.
And Steen pulling him out, but he eats that roundhouse kick. Hook in the leg. 2. And this time it's Kevin Steen.
Oh my God. How did he kick out of that? Oh, can you believe this match, Wadsworth? I'm losing my voice.
BJ, we called them 2 of the best in the world, and they look to be enforcing it. They look to be reminding us of just the hard work that it took to get to that level.
Absolutely. What a match we are witnessing right now, Wadsworth.
I mean, these are 2 guys that are world-renowned, and that's not just a fluke. That's not by accident. These guys have been at it for years, BJ.
There is a reason these guys are booked all over the country. Not just all over the country, Wadsworth, all over the world.
Gargano now dragging Steen back to his feet. Steen pushing him away, trying to get some separation, trying to recover from those kicks. He kicked out, but I still don't know how much he has left. Gargano planting him up top, but...
What's he going for? He is not going to try and lawn
dart on Steen. No, Steen counters out.
Sleeper suplex. Oh my God, it's over.
Just dropping him on the back of his skull. 2, 3.
No, he kicked out. How did he kick out?
Look at Johnny pulling himself up. Kevin Steen, though, not taking the time. A veteran move to not take the time. But Gargano escaped. Gargano escaped. Gargano escaped, locked on center of the ring.
Will Kevin tap? Will he tap?
Kevin Steen is nowhere to go, but Jake Clemens saying no tap, and you hear this crowd almost willing Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen rolling through, countering out. Rolling through, elevates, powerbomb out of Steen.
Rolls him through.
And now setting up a second time, and there's no way. Second time.
No.
And Rana out, rolling through. 1, 2, 3.
Johnny beat him. Johnny beat him. Oh my God, he countered the backwards pile driver. Oh my God.
Rana out of Gargano, the hook of the legs, the 3 count BJ Whitmer. Johnny defends the home court, if you will.